Okay folks, I'm back. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To all my Muslim brothers and sisters out there who are participating in this holy month of Ramadan. Guys, I have an announcement. So listen up carefully. Stay tuned, stay focused. Now, what is that announcement you say? Yes, that's right. I've decided to make a 30-day blog of my fasting progress. Yes, that's right. Day by day, I will be giving you and sharing some insights and perspectives and experiences of what it feels like for me to fast. And from these videos that I make for you guys out there, there'll be educational and also insightful, some tips and tools that you can incorporate and implement into your day-to-day life. So please, by all means, stay tuned for that. Now, before I begin, I want to highlight something. I'm not here to convert no one whatsoever. So please, by all means, get that out of your mind. Once you've got that out of your mind, the second thing is this. I'm going to give you a few highlighted points, little general rules about the fasting. And it goes something like this. The first one is, from sunrise to sunset, you are not allowed to drink or eat nothing whatsoever. That's rule number one. Rule number two, you have to conduct yourself so well, be on your best behavior in terms of how you deal with people, in terms of how you go about your day-to-day, daily basis, and how you carry yourself as a person. So that means you can't swear, scream, shout, argue. You have to be on best behavior. You have to be on point. That is rule number two. Now that I've got that out of the way, let's continue with my first blog. Now, I want to share this with you because I think it's very interesting. When I first started my fast, before I started my fast, I had the intention of trying to better myself. What area did I want to work on in terms of my life? And the character trait that I wanted to work on was patience, persevering. I want to become a better father towards my son. That is what I want to work on. Boy, did I get challenged and tested with that. And I'm about to share that with you a bit later on in this video. Check this. Prior to that, I was at my mum's with my son. My brother was there, my mum was there, and she told me, son, can you move the wardrobe from the first floor to the third floor? The third floor is where her bedroom is. Now I said, no problem whatsoever, mum. Check this. It's so difficult to communicate your ideas in terms of how you want to maneuver things when you're working with someone else, because two people have two different ways of doing things, manning things, handling things. Now, how do you come together and work together? That is the challenge that I faced with one of my brothers, because he was trying to help me move this wardrobe from the first floor to the third floor upstairs. Whilst this was going on, in the background, I had my son coming in and out. My little boy, he's just under 2, coming in and out and trying to get in the way. That was challenging enough. The second challenge, I had my mother in the background saying, do you guys want any help? You guys okay? X, Y, Z. Now, this was very, very challenging. And at the same time, I was battling my hay fever, which was from my runny nose and my eyes. Now, how did I cope? How did I adjust to this challenge? Well, I'm about to tell you these sort of things. What I've learned from this situation is this. One directs, the other one listens and adjusts. One has to always lead. That is the key right here. And the other one has to listen. Because if you guys don't do this and you guys don't work together where one leads and the other one follows, there's going to be chaos. That is what I've learned from just removing this wardrobe from the first floor to the third floor. That was a challenge in itself. And also bearing in mind that you had the little child running between the wardrobes, and that could have created some kind of accident in itself. Now, in the same day, later on, it was time to feed my son. Yes, that's right. Feeding time is always challenging for myself, especially. I'm at this point, it's 20 minutes before the fasting breaks. And I'm getting hungry and I'm getting worked up and I'm tired. And I'm feeding my son. And he's posing a really strong challenge towards me. He's playing up, he's acting up. Now what am I doing? I'm trying to at first be patient, talk to him, entertain him. That didn't work. They started to spit the food out. And then I picked it back up and then fed it to him again. Don't worry, they spat out and it went onto the bowl. And he kept on spitting out and turning his head. Every time I tried to feed him, he was turning his head left, right, but still not having it. And then occasionally that would feed him once and he'll have it, and then he'll vomit it back out. And that wound me up because I was getting very impatient. I was already hungry and I need to break my fast, and he was acting up, he was playing up. And what did I do? 20 minutes in of me just persisting and trying all different things, trying to look for ways of feeding him, and it didn't work. I got really wound up and I shouted at him. I intimidated him, and his whole demeanor just was in a state of shock. He was like, Abu, Abu, which means dad, dad. But he said it in a soft tone, and he had all these tears and a snotty nose just running down his face. I felt sorry for him at that time, but I got so angry at that moment. I lost it. Throughout my day it was going really, really well because I anticipated before this event, before this feeding time, I anticipated, hang on a second, this is a challenging situation. What am I likely to do? I'm likely to shout or react. I don't want to do this in this situation. And that worked well with the wardrobe scenario. But in this feeding situation, where it come close to the time of breaking my fast, I flipped. I lost it. I lost my rag. I actually nullified my fast because it defeated the whole purpose of me fasting, was to abstain from all ill misconduct. The lesson from that I've learned is this, is to try to anticipate your behavior for events that may unfold. So if you know that you're going to react this way because this person might say something, or if you know that this person's going to bring out the worst in you, then you have a chance to think before you get in that situation. And in some cases, it's too late to think. You're already in that situation and you're already acting and reacting the way that you usually do, which is in a negative way, if that is the case. Now it's time to take a step back and think, hang on a second, whoa, okay, I don't want this to happen. I'm gonna acknowledge possible situations that may bring out the worst in me, and I'm gonna try and avoid these and look for better ways of dealing with things. That is what I've learned. Always try to look for better ways of anticipating and understanding your own behavior of how you would react in each and every situation and scenario with that individual or with just the scenario in itself. Understand your own behavior. That is the conclusion. The second conclusion is this. I failed. I've owned up to where I went wrong. So for next time, I know my son's going to act up. I know he's going to do this. I'm going to look for different approaches, different attitudes and outlooks to deal with him better. So once you've flopped, because we all know something, we all know not to do this, but when we get stuck in a situation, it's not too long before we start reverting back to our old ways of habits of dealing with things. So if that does happen, take a step back, acknowledge that you flopped, and for next time, look for better ways of dealing with it. Those are 2 tips I thought I might bring to your attention and share with you guys out there. So people, please by all means stay tuned for day 2 of my fasting progress. Until then, take care, stay strong, stay focused, and always live to learn to empower and inspire the lives of many as well as yourself. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.